Better late than never. Traffic bad. Yeah.
Good, how are you? Always good. Okay. From Cokeville, yeah. He played in the Shrine Bowl a couple years ago, right? Last year. Okay. Which one's yours? Oh, Eliana. Okay. Yeah, I remember Lilia. Western Colorado. I wanted to say that.
Rebel Volleyball is on.
What a barn burner we have here tonight. Rich leading 16-15, set and match point for the third time. Kendall Staple to serve. Staple down the line. Giles passes up into the net. A Crawford drop in Randolph service ace.
The 2019 season starts a new chapter of Rich High Volleyball as coach Wendy Lamborn takes the reins and leads the Rebels onto the court.
It's stuffed. Epic recreation block of the game by Eliana Brown.
Crank up the volume and join us for Rich Rebel Volleyball.
Stacy back corner, perfect spot.
On Rebel Radio, KADQ FM 98.3 with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
Brown sets high and outside. Hatch hits down the line, back corner, she got it in there. And the Rebels win on a Bear Lake Realty kill from Sydney Hatch.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, the Come On In of Casper, by Auto Farm Chevrolet, the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau, Plains Tire, Evanston Regional Hospital, Cash Honda Yamaha of Cache Valley, and by mylocalradio.com.
The Eagles barely get to it, but it's stuffed. There's your epic recreation block of the game. Sage Tingy read that perfectly.
And now, Rich High Volleyball fans.
Wallenstein, a laser that hits the top of the net, rolls over the top and in. A fourth service ace in 5 serves by Allie Wallenstein.
Pull on your lucky socks, set your seat to full recline, and get ready to cheer on your Rebels as we head courtside to join the play-by-play voice of the Rebels, Ryan Steineckert.
Good evening, Rebel fans. Welcome to Rebel Volleyball on KADQ, our Rich High School Cindy Stewart floor. And the Rebels hosting the Lyman Eagles tonight in the JV action. It's tied at 14 in the third set. Rebels took the first set. Lyman took set number 2. So we'll keep it here for a moment and see what happens here in this third set. Kind of a pivotal set here as Lyman sets to serve. And under the net, misfiring is Hallie Blumel, a freshman. Puts her head in her hands in frustration. And the Rebels get set to serve. Let's get a station on main scoreboard up there for you if you're watching online. A little bit of bonus JV coverage. Rebels on top in set 3 with the match tied at 1-1, and the Rebels take a set 3 victory, 16-14. Heading into set number 4, the Rebels lead 2-1. So that gives us an opportunity to jump into our pregame show, brought to you by the town of Randolph, the mayor, board members, and town clerk. Wish the Rebels good luck. We've got the first serve scheduled for 12 minutes from now, but I think it's going to be more like 25 minutes from now before we get the varsity match started. Should mention the Rebels beat USDB. The Rebels also beat Mount Vernon. Both of those matches 3-0. And against Mount Vernon, that counts as a varsity region match. The Rebel freshman team beat Mount Vernon 25-17, 25-10, 25-11. So far, again, in this JV match, 26-24, 25-23. Rebels took the first, Lyman took the second, and Rich takes the third, 16-14. 2-set wins for each team in those sets. All right, let's move along. We've got the Town of Randolph pregame show, also the Rich County 4-H coaches show coming up, or the Rich County 4-H scene set, and the coaches show, which will be brought to you by Stacy's Repair. That's all coming up. We'll keep an eye on the JV match as well. Rich versus Lyman here tonight at Rich High School on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com. Welcome back. Oh, I hope that's not on all of my scenes. Part of the production. Part of the production on this video broadcast. We have to add the chroma key there. I don't remember changing that. I'm worried about that causing some issues on other scenes as well. I guess we'll see how things go the rest of the way. I might be doing some editing on the fly. Welcome back to the Town of Randolph pregame show. Rebels and the Lyman Eagles here this evening. I'm already out of date on my Rich County 4-H scene set. The Rebels come in actually at 10-5 this season. Let me just update that right now while I tell you about it, because in region play, the Rebels today took on USDB and Mount Vernon. And it's a fortunate, at the same time unfortunate thing, because those opponents, quite frankly, are not good enough to compete on a varsity level. And so Rich played its freshman teams against USDB and earned a 3-0 win, and its freshman team against Mount Vernon earned a 3-0 win. So with those victories, Rich is 10-5 overall and improved to 5-1 in 1A Region 22. Now, the last true varsity match that the Rebels played was against Westside on Saturday, and the Rebels won that one in 3, 25-21, 25-13, and 25-16. A dominant win for the Rebels in that match. A few more service errors than aces, but overall, they did what they should have done against Westside. Now, the Pirates have a lot of height and hurt themselves quite a bit hitting into the net. Hitting errors were a big problem for the Westside Pirates, but regardless of how it happened, the Rich Rebels got the victory. And Rich, as I mentioned, 10-5 overall this season. Now, I said that the matches with Mount Vernon and USDB are unfortunate in one way because they count as varsity matches, but they're not matches in which the Rebel varsity team plays. And so the varsity team isn't improving, isn't getting better, isn't getting that time on the court to progress and become a better team. And so that's a tough thing for the Rebels. And also the freshmen are told to take it easy, and then they still dominate. So, but I guess in competitive nature and sportsmanship, not a bad thing to have USDB and Mount Vernon come and compete and be a part of the region. Lyman Eagles come in at 13-9 overall. Their last 3 have been conference play. They play in the 3A Southwest Conference of Wyoming. Lost 3-1 against Pinedale, beat Big Piney 3-0, and then lost a barn burner at the Bridger Valley Volley Bowl on the 24th, just 2 nights ago on Tuesday night. Played at Mountain View and lost 3-2. So Mountain View, or Lyman rather, at 1-2 in their 3A West Conference play, and we welcome you tuned in if you're from the Bridger Valley. Jake Hibbard is off to Casper for the Casper Invitational, where he'll be covering some matches tomorrow for Evanston and Mountain View, and then football, I think, tomorrow night for Mountain View at, is it Lovell? I'm sorry, I should know that. I apologize, but Mountain View on the road tomorrow evening. So anyway, filling in here tonight, we welcome you tuned in if you're watching on mylocalradio.com from the Bridger Valley. The Lyman Eagles, historically, a pretty solid program. 4 state titles, including last year, in which Lyman went 35-0. They won the region, they won the state, they beat Rollins for the championship, and did not lose a match. They certainly lost some sets along the way, but did not lose a match. That was a first state title since 1994. And in the early 90s, the Lyman Eagles won 3 out of 5 years in 1990, 93, and 94. The Eagles took state championships, and so Brescia Hansen has the program going in a very solid direction. As I mentioned, 35-0 last year. That may be more than solid. That's rock solid, the direction this Lyman Eagles program is going, and Coach Hansen, of course, a big part of that, along with the talent in town, the parents, and everybody in the program. But Lyman at 1-2 so far in the 3A West, looking to improve on that. Last time these teams met was at Cokeville. And at that Cokeville tournament, Lyman got the better of Rich. The Rebels took the first set. And I can get to your scores if you give me 1 second here. Rebels took the first set, 25-26. And then the sets 2, 3, and 4, rather, were won by Lyman. And those were close, 25-22, 25-21, and 26-24. So these two programs fairly evenly matched from what we saw at the Cokeville tournament, and certainly there's been some progress since that point. So if you go back historically on the Laketown Ledger, brought to you by the town of Laketown, Lyman now owns a 1-3 series edge over the Rebels going back to the early 2000s. So that teams may have played prior to that, but my records go back to 2004, I think, or 2002. And in that span, I've got Rich having played Lyman 4 times, Lyman with 3 wins, and Rich with 1 victory in 2006, a 3-1 victory for, 2016 Rebels State Championship year, a 3-1 victory over Lyman. In the JV match, set number 4, the Rebels lead 2-1, and Rich leads 4-3 in that here in this 4th set, rather. This has been your scene set, brought to you by Rich County 4-H, empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime. We've got a good crowd so far here tonight. Rebel student section a bit stronger tonight than it was last Saturday against Westside. And I think we've got some Lyman fans here as well. I expect a few more fans to filter in here before the match starts. It's homecoming week for the Rebels, so celebrating, of course, tonight, tomorrow, hosting North Summit in football, and then ICS in volleyball. Saturday, the Rebel volleyball team hits the road for Manila. So a full slate of matches and games this week for the Rich Rebels. 5-4, Rebels lead in set number 4, where you're tuned in to the Rich County 4-H scene set, empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime. That's Rich County 4-H. We'll be right back. We'll take a quick break. We'll talk with each of the coaches when we return on this Town of Randolph pregame show here on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com. Welcome to the Wendy Lamborn Coaches Show, presented by Stacy's Repair. Need a repair? Take it to the ones who truly care. That's Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Rebels and the Lyman Eagles played once already this season, and Lyman won. After Rich took the first set, Lyman took sets 2, 3, and 4 to win the match. Stay tuned. We've got interviews with each of the coaches, Wendy Lamborn and Brescia Hansen of Lyman. We'll take a quick break. We'll probably give you a little bit of bonus JV coverage as well in the meantime. But for now, we'll be right back on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
I have Brescia Hansen, head coach of the Lyman volleyball program, with me. You have a mid-season non-conference match, and it's getting to that point in the season where you're pretty much out of contests that won't matter in one way or another, because even when you take on teams from the Northwest Conference, when it comes down to tiebreakers, those matches certainly could matter, and they matter as far as getting a look at a team that you could be taking on at regionals or at state. So when you get a mid to late season non-conference match like this against Rich, how do you approach it? I mean, I'm not asking, like, do you approach it any differently, but what do you look at for things to assess? Is there any time to step back at all? Does it any different at all?
No, I don't really think so. I mean, we have Rich, and then we play Cokeville and Green River, I believe, next week. So we have a couple of those non-conference matches. And I do tell my kids, guys, let's not get too tight about this. This match doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but it does matter when it comes to us improving and getting better. And we need all the game-like reps we can get right now. And so to play a team like Rich, who we've played before the season, and all the sets were tight, we know that it's going to be tight, and we can hopefully use those situations to help us grow.
You have lots of girls who are got years left in the varsity program, and then you have some girls who are seniors but still playing their first varsity matches. And as we've seen them progress, we've certainly seen consistency continue to climb. But are you looking at these sort of matches where you can say, hey, they don't count, but they do count as far as how you perform, as an opportunity to really crispen up that back line, the setting to the hit, really that whole, I guess you could call it, assembly line of volleyball production from the defensive receive to the offensive attack?
Yeah, regardless who we face, we always go back in the gym the next day and we look at the numbers. How did our passing, what were our passing numbers? What was our hitting efficiency? You know, were we making good choices there? And then the big one we've been working on is side out percentage, because we tend to get stuck. And can we fix that and make that number higher? And so regardless of who we play, we always try to hold ourselves to some standards there that we talk about. We have goals for each of those statistics, and we look at the numbers and see, did we get there? And I think that helps to keep intensity up.
If you would tell me about side out percentage and why that's something that you're keying in on with this program.
So side out percentage just takes into account how frequently we can side out. And you want to be around 60% or above to consistently feel like you're siding out, not getting stuck for strings of points. And I think for the season, we're like at 56%. And we've been right around there at pretty much every match. And that's something that we need to continue to improve upon, to not get stuck, and when we are stuck, to figure out why.
You have a preseason contest against Rich, and then we'll be back with you on the road for Green River. Like you said, you got Cokeville as well. So Brescia Hansen, head coach of the Lyman volleyball program, Thank you. Good luck, and we'll see you for those contests and then be back in for conference meetings.
Thanks so much.
Well, thanks, Jake Hibbert, for that interview with Coach Brescia Hansen, and thanks, of course, to Coach Hansen. You're tuned in to the Wendy Lamborn Coaches Show, brought to you by Stacy's Repair. Need a repair? Take it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair. We're past, actually, time on the scheduled start time for the varsity first serve. JV has gone to a fourth set. Rebels lead 2-1, but Lyman is on top 14-12 in set number 4. So the Eagles 1 point away from forcing a fifth and final set. We'll give you some bonus JV coverage. Service. Peart receives, passes high. McKee across, and Smith pushes over the net. Dug up and back to the Rebels on an overpass. McKee high and outside again to Smith. Cracked in front of the defense. It drops in for the Bear Lake Realty kill. And Rich is within 1. They've got to get a point here or Lyman wins the set on this rally scoring, of course. Smith serves down the line, passed up, over the net, just got over the top. Rebels dig it up and pass it over. Set and high and right side, opposite side, hit from the 10-foot line. Rebels dig. High and left side, Peart passes it over. Two-handed. Passed high, set outside. Rebels deflect on the block, but can't dig it up, and Lyman wins 15-13 in set number 4. On to a set 5. And I think I'm having some technical issues. I heard from Preston Bush, and maybe you've noticed if you're tuned in online at mylocalradio.com. Preston, my producer back in the studio, says no audio on the video ads, the commercials. So we'll take a quick break. We'll see if I need to work on that, get that fixed. And in the meantime, continue on with our pregame show brought to you by the town of Randolph, home of the Rich Rebels. Good luck from the mayor, board members, and town clerk.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Kendall Staple. Thanks for tuning in to Rich High Volleyball on KADQ FM 98.3 and mylocalradio.com.
Established in 1870, Randolph, Utah.
Well, our apologies. We're dealing with some technical issues. Our ads are not playing audio on the video stream, so that's boy, we can't do this without all of our sponsors. So we've got to get that figured out. I apologize for the rough pregame show, the Town of Randolph pregame show. Just trying to get things figured out here and see if we can find out why our audio is not playing through on the video ads. So I'm going to just continue to try to play a few video ads here, try to get things figured out, and we'll go from there. So again, our apologies. This is the pregame show brought to you by the Town of Randolph, and Coach's Show is presented by Stacy's Repair. The Rebels in set 5 in the JV match lead 8-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Check.
End the game. Time's up.
Well, again, our apologies on our Town of Randolph pregame show, having some audio issues on the stream. And in the meantime, the Rebel JV team just won set 5, 15-11, and wins the JV match 3-2. We'll continue on with our pregame show coverage and hear from Coach Wendy Lamborn right after this on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. This is the Wendy Lamborn Coaches Show, brought to you by Stacy's Repair. With Wendy Lamborn, head coach of the Rich Rebel volleyball team. Coach, a 1-1 weekend last week at ICS, a close, tough, even loss.
It was a great match. It was a battle, evenly fought, I think, both with a lot of service errors and on both teams. And I feel like it could have gone either direction.
The service errors, kind of a testament to how hard both teams were trying to serve, right?
You know, I think ICS has probably served the toughest to us so far that we've ran into this year. So that's a good thing. That's good for us to run into stuff like that. And we're great servers too. But we did have a lot of service errors.
You had no trouble with the win over Westside on Saturday, and looking ahead now to Thursday, a region match with Mount Vernon. Then you've got Lyman in town, and then Friday another rematch with ICS, and then Saturday at Manila. This is a big week.
This is a huge week. And homecoming on top of that. So we're going to hope for a lot of sleep and hope that they stay focused. Scares me a little, but yeah, two really tough matches on Thursday and Friday with Lyman and ICS.
How do you prepare your team for this kind of a week with a non-region match Thursday that you want to win and then a big region match that you need to win on Friday?
You know, with this new point system, everything matters. So region or not region, we need to win that match on Thursday for some good points. So Lyman's a tough team. We ran into them at the Cokeville tournament, I think playing a little bit better than we did at the Cokeville tournament. So I'm going to hope for a great match against Lyman on Thursday and then just go after it again with hopefully less errors on Friday.
Tell me about the passing, or let's dive into a little bit more about what you need to do differently against ICS this time around.
I think their ceiling kind of got us down a little bit with the low ceiling and the rafters, and it's just so hard to play when we're used to passing, pretty high balls. That got us a little bit. I'm hoping that helps us this time by having our own home court advantage, so to speak, and they're used to that, but we're not. So that'll be different. We're going to do a lot of serving this week. We didn't pass so well either, so we're going to do a lot of passing stuff this week and hopefully just improving those skills.
Do you have concerns about the girls getting up and excited and ready for Thursday, Friday, and then you go out to Manila and go, we got to play the Mustangs too?
Exactly. It's a crazy week to have homecoming for us anyway. I hope that homecoming and, the seniors having their last homecoming hurrah and it being a home match, that they'll get up for it and it's a lot easier to play home.
We've talked a lot about finishing, and at ICS, I think I saw McKenna Stacy get a couple of kills, maybe the best I've ever seen from her. Allie Wallentyne had a few of those as well. Are you getting better on killing?
I think we are getting better. We still need to improve, but they're trying hard. They really are. They're trying to swing harder. They're trying to come up with some different locations for balls that we haven't done before, and in fact, that's on today's schedule, is to work on hitting some tough shots that just aren't your normal hit the ball shots.
Coach, is there anything else we should touch on about this week's slate of games?
I don't think so. I do want to make mention, though, that in October, on the 24th, we'll be playing North Summit for a Cancer Pink game, and we would really like to start asking people to come out and support that game. It's going to be a home game with North Summit, and we're going to have an auction. We'd love everybody's support, and we're going to split the money, and it's going to be a cancer game that we're going to host ourselves for the first time ever. And we'd really love people to start thinking about that. There'll be a silent auction that you could come, and lots of good stuff, and come and support the volleyball team. And we hope to split the money with North Summit and help our communities out for cancer.
Coach Wendy Lamborn, thanks so much for your time. Good luck this week in the full schedule of homecoming.
Thanks, Ryan.
Welcome back to the Town of Randolph pregame show. You've been tuned in to the Coaches Show, brought to you by Stacy's Repair. The ones who truly care about you and your vehicle need a repair, take it to Stacy's Repair. Still trying to deal with some sound issues, and I'm not sure what happened. Things seem to be running smoothly on this end. It's showing that I'm getting audio play out on the video ads, but apparently it's not getting through to the video stream if you're watching at home online at mylocalradio.com. So we apologize to our sponsors for that issue. I'm just frankly baffled about why it's not working. I didn't change any settings between our last broadcast on Saturday and today's broadcast. I may need to stop the stream here in a moment one more time and change some settings here and see if that fixes things. We'll try that here in a moment. We've got a few minutes before the match begins. Rebels and the Lyman Eagles. So stay tuned. We'll take a quick pause in the stream. We'll be back. We'll have your Town of Laketown Ledger. We've got the starting lineups brought to you by the Christopher Staple family, wishing the Rebels luck. That's all coming up, that and more, when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. Stay tuned. If you're just joining us, we apologize. We're having some audio issues with when our ads play. We're not getting audio on the stream, so we're trying to deal with that here on and I've tried everything I can think of. I didn't change any settings until tonight because we started having that problem. I started changing some settings and things like that, trying to work through the issue. It's tough to actually change those settings during the actual live stream. So we may have to, Preston, back in the studio, I don't know if this is possible at this point, but we may have to have you actually play I'm not sure what to do at this point because I've changed any settings. Everything on my end looks like it's playing just fine. Let me pause things and play some more ads and see if I can tweak another setting or two. And we'll be back with the Laketown Ledger and the Christopher Staple family starting lineups after this on the Wildlife at MyLocalRadio.com. Well, our apologies on the choppiness of their stream, especially audio section of that tonight. We've got some audio issues and just been trying to deal with that. It's time for your Town of Laketown Ledger, brought to you by the Town of Laketown. Rebels and Lyman have faced each other 4 times in the last 5 years, and Lyman has won 4 of those matches, or 3 rather. The Rebels have won 1. Last time these teams met was earlier this season at the Cokeville tournament, and Rich took the first set. Lyman took sets 2, 3, and 4 to win the match 3-1. We're just going to have to move along. That's your Town of Laketown Ledger, presented by the Mayor and Town Council of Laketown. Today's starting lineups are brought to you by the Christopher Staple family. Wishing the Rebels the best. Sunshine Staple over across the way, wearing a Bob Ross t-shirt tonight. Lyman Lady Eagles starting lineups are number 4, Mandy Eyre, number 10, Bryce Hansen, number 12, a senior Sierra Heaton, and number 13, Brooklyn Walker, number 15, McKendall Dickerson, and number 22, Madison Harris. Libero is number 10, number 30, Raven Heaton. And we may see Emma Nelson start at number 18, a junior, if the Eagles serve to start this match. Rebel starters will be number 2, McKenna Stacy, 5, Allie Wallenton, 6, Kendall Staple. Libero is number 10, Sage Tingy, number 35, Ellie Brown, 32, JC Cornea, and 45, Sydney Hatch. The starters for the Rich Rebels are brought to you by the Christopher Staple family, wishing the Rebels good luck. Today's pregame show is presented by the Town of Randolph. The mayor, board members, and town clerk wish the Rebels the best. Well, again, if you're just joining us, the JV team beat Lyman in 5, 3-2. Final set was the only one decided by more than 2 points. Rich won 15-11 in the 5th. And in the freshman match, Rich took on Mount Vernon in a region match, and the Rebels won. The Rebel freshmen beat Mount Vernon 3-0. Pretty decisive victory. Well, again, our apologies to our sponsors. I'll try to make sure to give some extra name mentions, live reads to our sponsors, and we'll see if Preston can get some things set up. Preston's my producer back in the studio tonight. I think he may try to get them some things set up to play audio during our commercial breaks. Not sure what's going on with our video stream, but the audio not playing on our video ads during commercial breaks, and I'll have to do some figuring of that out tomorrow before the Rebel football game when Rich takes on North Summit for homecoming here here at Rich High School tomorrow afternoon. Our pregame starts at 3:15, and then directly following that, the Rebel volleyball team hosts ICS. So a couple of big games tomorrow here at Rich High School with football and volleyball in action. Looks like Lyman will serve. The beginning serve brought to you by Town and Country Realty, selling Bear Lake in Utah and Idaho. That's Pam Cornea. Rebels set it up. Allie Wallenton hits cross court, and it was not too deep, but it was too wide. And Lyman leads 1-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Serving is Brooklyn Walker, a sophomore, number 13, and an ace for Walker. Puts Lyman on top 2-0. Brooklyn, as I mentioned, a sophomore. She's the setter. Hits right on the serve. Stacy's serve receive shanked off to the side. The Rebels have to just pass it over. Air receives or passes up front. They set it up and hit long and out. Did the Rebels deflect it? No, they did not. Lyman asks for a deflection, doesn't get it, and the Rebels trail 2-1 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Allie Wallenton serving for Rich. A-Wall with the service. Cross court. Dug up high by Madison Harris. They set it up. Tip it across. Diving comprehensive family dental dig by Sage Tingy. Goes back over the net. Lyman digs it up and sets it over and back to Rich. Rebels set it up high and outside for Stacy. Her big hit. Too big. Long and out. 3-1. Lyman leads early on the Station on Main scoreboard. Set 1 brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Tingy receives. Good pass up front. Cornea high and outside. Stacy down the line. It's punched back over the net. Tingy, another comprehensive family dental dig of the game. Wallenton hits from the back line. Set up high and left side. Air just has to pass it over. Cornea high a short set in the middle. Hatch's hit is blocked. Rich digs it up and Brown passes it over the net. Passed up high by Walker in the middle, and a hit through the block to the floor. 4-1. Lyman leads early on here. in this Rolene Kennedy first set. Bryce, I believe this is Bryce Hansen. Yes, it is. The sophomore serving. Tingy, good pass. Cornea high and outside. Stacy taps it over the block and down to the back corner to the side of Bryce Hansen where she couldn't get it. That's a Bear Lake Realty kill for the Rebels. Trailing 4-2 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Sydney Hatch serving for Rich. Right to left at mylocalradio.com. Rebels in the blues, Lyman in the whites. Mandy Air with the big left-handed swing. No, was that? Yes, it was Air. I thought she was the southpaw, and turns out I was right. Air with the kill. And back to serve goes McKindle Dickerson. Dickerson, a sophomore. Tingy receives from her knees. Cornea high and outside to Stacy. Big hit blocked. Stacy keeps it alive, but out of bounds. And Lyman has a 6-2 lead. Service again by Dickerson. Rebels able to pass it over. Walker, a very high set in the middle. And it's slapped Wallenstein to the Comprehensive Family Dental dig. Stacy pushes it across. Walker again high and outside. Air with the left. Rebels deflected out of bounds. 7-2. Lyman with the lead. These teams met at the Cokeville tournament, and the Rebels took the first set 26-24. So far, it's been all Lyman, 7-2. Rebels don't get a good pass, and they just have to pass it over. Walker high and outside. Air hits. Rebels deflect with the block, but then nobody can get underneath it. 8-2. Staple was there for the Epic Recreation block, but they don't get the point. Taylor McKee checks in. Ellie Brown gets a breather. McKee, Tingy, and Stacy set to receive this service from Dickerson. Stacy, nice pass. Cornea doesn't have to take a step. Stacy hits, deflected, out of bounds. Bear Lake Realty kill number 2 of this match for McKenna Stacy. And the Rebels get a much-needed side out. A 4-0 Lyman Eagle run. You heard Coach Brescia Hansen talk about side out percentage, and this is that opportunity right here for Lyman. JC Cornea serves. Good pass by Hansen, high and outside. Air hits long and out, and that side out percentage not good on that particular point. Rebels get the point and trail 8-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Cornea with the service and the pass up under the net. A Crawford Troffitt Randolph service ace for J.C. Cornea. She's one of the leaders on this team, and in fact, one of the top ace servers in the state. She's about number 12 in the state. Touch down the line by, is that number 14? There's not a 14 on the roster. Not sure who that is for Lyman. But she missed wide and out. 8-6, Rebels trail. Rich passes up front. Cornea in the middle. Staple with the slap. Dug up by the libero. Raven Heaton. They'll set it up and hit. Wallenstein dives. Cornea dives, and the Rebels pass it over. Walker in the middle. Slapped. Wallenstein punches it to the ceiling. Cornea passes up front, and Stacy touches it across with 2 hands. Air digs. Walker back set. Slapped over by the mysterious number 14. Rebels dive, dig, pass over, set back, and the Eagles set it up, hit it across. Rebels set for Staple, who hits toward the back corner just a bit wide. 9-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. This is going to drive me nuts. 9-6, Lyman leads in set number 1, brought to you by Rolene Kennedy. Stacy receives. Cornea passes on the back line. AWOL slaps it across from the back, from beyond that 10-foot line. Set up in the middle. Rebel deflection on the block. Tingy digs. Cornea high and outside for Stacy. Hit, deflected to the floor. Bear Lake Realty kill number 3 for McKenna Stacy. 9-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels trail by 2. Rebels serving. McKenna Stacy just a bit wide as she went from right to left from her angle. Just missed. First service error of the set. Rebels have had trouble with the service error recently. in the last couple of matches. 19 errors against ICS last week. Service tips off the top of the net. Staple dove for it, but Brown had a chance to get to it. Thought she'd go for it and just deflected it the wrong direction. Counts as a Crawford Trough and Randolph service ace for Mandy Air and the Lyman Eagles. Rebels set it up high and outside for Awald. Air with a diving dig. Passed high and passed over. Cornea, perfect pass up front to Brown. High and outside to Awald. Back corner. In there. The line judge not sure. She had to move her feet to get out of the way of that hit, and subsequently couldn't quite see if it was in or out. So the up official says that baby's in there. Bear Lake Realty kill for Wallentine. Passed, slapped across. Staple able to dig it up. Cornea high and outside for Wallentine. Hit back corner. This one is too long and out. 12-8. Lyman leads. Rebels pass it over. Lyman sets it up, and Bryce Hansen hits it across. Cornea high and right side, and Brown with a little slap deflected off the block to the floor. A Bear Lake Realty kill for Eliana. 12-9. Rebels trail on the Rolene Kennedy set number 1. Rich was down as much as 8-2. But has climbed slowly back in. Bryce Hansen, big hit. Stacy with the comprehensive family dental dig, and Cornea passes over. Pass out front. Walker high and outside again for Hansen. Crushes it, but the angle not good. She hit it way long and out. Rebels let it thread their needle through the defense and land out of bounds. Ellie Brown serving with the Rebels down 12-10. High, long pass. Walker back set. Dickerson hits cross court. Lunging dig by Brown. Comprehensive family dental dig. And Hatch passes it over. Air up front. Walker high and outside. Hansen comes in, touches it down. Diving comprehensive family dental dig by Brown. And Tingy pushes it over. Walker high and in the middle. Dickerson touches it over. Tingy with a comprehensive family dental diving dig. Stacy hits from the back line. Air digs it up, and they pass out to Hansen. Epic recreation block by Sydney Hatch. Dug up out of bounds for the Eagles. 12-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Emma Nelson wearing number 14 tonight. Thanks, Rob, for finding that out for me. She was listed as number 18 on the roster. 12-11, Rebels trail. Lyman slaps, Rebels dig, set right at the net. Hatch with a nice move to get it over and not get into the net. Rebels dig on a Lyman attack, hit, block, dig again, dig, and pass over. Rebels playing scrappy tonight. They're going to have to keep that up. High and outside, Hansen hits cross court. Tingy dug, but a bit low. Catch up on some stats here. Sydney Hatch with that epic recreation block of the game. Tingy had a dig. Eliana had a couple of digs. 13-11, Lyman leads on the Station on Main scoreboard. In set number 1, brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Rebels again hustling, scrambling, but can't control it. And that comes down to the serve receive. You got to get a better pass initially. Lyman Eagles, tough servers, and Brooklyn Walker back around in the rotation. The setter, the sophomore, serves. A skip slap serve. Rebels dig it up, set it up, and Wallentine hits down the line just wide. From this angle, looked in, but the line judge a far better angle than I have, and he says out. 15-11 is what I have on the Station on Main scoreboard. Our scoreboard here at Rich High School says 14-12. I think it should be 15-11. I want to wish a happy birthday tonight to Taylor McKee. Rebel sophomore, helped the JV win 3-2. We saw her come in momentarily here in the varsity game as well, the varsity match. Cornea, good set. Wallentine hits back line. It's in there. A Bear Lake Realty kill for A-Wall, her second of the match. 15-12. Rebels needed that side out. Pivotal point in this first set brought to you by Rolene Kennedy. Wallentine serves. Air, decent pass. Walker passes, and Hansen hits Tingy with the dig. Cornea set too close to the net. Stacy punches, it's dug back, Rebels dig. Air passes up high, and then they go to the outside again. Hansen with the big swing, too big. 15-13. Bryce Hansen, a sophomore, daughter of Coach Brescia Hansen, and athletic director and girls basketball coach Jason Hansen. Crawford trough in Randolph, service ace for Allie Wallenstein. She dropped it into the back corner. Second ace of the match for the Rebels. In set number 1, Rich trails by 1. Wallenstein serves, clips the top of the net, and the Eagles are right there for it. Walker sets, Rebels dig and pass it back over after Emma Nelson's attack. High and outside, and this time Hansen finds the floor. She just crushed it into the block, which deflected it out of bounds and to the Rebel side of the floor. 16-14. Bryce Hansen back to serve. The sophomore running jump serve with the right hand. Tingy barely passes it up, dug it up off the hardwood. Rebels pass it over. Walker with Dickerson calling for the 2. Rebels block it. McKenna Stacy, an epic recreation block of the game. Eagles set it back up. Air hits down the line. Out. It was short enough. It was within that the length of the court, but it was out wide. And Rich climbs to within 1. 16-15 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Service, not a good pass. They keep it alive and pass it over. Wallenstein digs. Rebels set it up for Stacy. Touched through the block, and the Rebels tie it up at 16. McKenna Stacy with her 4th Bear Lake Realty kill of this first set, brought to you by Rolene Kennedy. Rebels serving, Sydney Hatch right to left if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. Pass up at the net, punched back, and Air pushes it across. Wallenstein digs, they set it up, and Staple hits to the back corner for a Bear Lake Realty kill. And the Rebels take their first lead of set number 1. Kendall Staple with that Bear Lake Realty kill. Sydney Hatch serves. Down the line, Air, good pass. Walker, high and outside for Mandy. She touches it over the Rebel block. Everybody else was backing up, and Air found the donut hole of the defense to tie the score at 17. Kendall Dickerson back to serve. The sophomore, is that Dickerson? No, this is Brooklyn Walker. My mistake. No, it is Dickerson. Walker digs the Rebel attack, set it up in the middle, and Taylor McKee digs. Cornea high and outside for Stacy, crushes it, but it's stuffed. Absolutely stuffed by Emma Nelson. For the Lyman point, and the Eagles retake the lead, 18-17 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Service by Dickerson. McKee receives. Cornea high and outside for Stacy. McKenna crushes it, and this time the dig shanked off to the back wall. Ties the score at 18 on the Station on Main scoreboard. 5 Bear Lake Realty kills in this first set for McKenna Stacy. She leads the team. That puts her total kills at 119 this season. She had 114 coming in. Set high and outside. Brown blocks it and then digs it up. Epic recreation block. Wallenstein, little heel, like palm heel strike to punch that over. A touch attack back. Tingy with a comprehensive family dental diving dig. And then the hit. Cross court drops in. Mandy Air with a perfect spot into the back corner. 19-18. Lyman retakes the lead. Into serve, Sierra Heaton. Right side hitter, a senior, number 12. And Heaton. Standing step serve. Rebels let it go. It was out. Cornea and Tingy were both right there on top of it. Both shouted at each other, let it go. First service error of the match for the Lyman Eagles. We're tied at 19 on the Station on Main scoreboard in Rolene Kennedy's first set. Serving is McKenna Stacy. Decent pass, high and outside. Mandy Air tips it over the block. J.C. Cornea, comprehensive family dental dig. Staple pushes back corner. Hansen passes up front. Walker in the middle, stuffed. Epic recreation block by Kendall Staple. High and outside again. Lyman goes. Air hits, and Cornea digs. Rebels set it up for Stacy. Her hit up off the ceiling, and then Walker dump sets. Rebels dig. Wallenstein hits back corner. Diving dig attempt by Hansen, not in time. 20-19. Allie Wallenstein with her third Bear Lake Realty kill of this first set. And Coach Brescia Hansen takes a timeout. We'll take one as well and be right back on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com. Welcome back to the Rolling Kennedy at Auto Farm Chevrolet, set number 1. The Rebels with a 20-19 lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. And I recently updated my VLC media player. We have to use that in our OBS for some of the functions in our video stream is what it comes down to. And I wonder if the update on the media player changed something on the software that we use to video stream. Lyman sets up the attack, hits it down the line, deflected off the Rebel block, and out of bounds. I'm going to have to do some more research later. Back to the match. Rebels lead, tied up 20 all. Knotted up at 20. Staple hits, air digs high. They pass high and outside to Hansen, who hit into the block and deflected out of bounds. Lyman retakes the lead, 21-20 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Mandy Air serving for the Lyman Eagles in the first set. Lyman in the whites, Rebels in the home blues. Cornea sets, and Wallenstein, boy, she set Mandy Air up nicely there. Allie had gone to the corner, to the corner, to the corner. Air was moving to the corner to dig Wallenstein up, and Allie hits it back to the middle. Great adjustment on a Bear Lake Realty kill by Allie Wallenstein. Maybe your McKay Frankham Dental Services precision play of the game. Air digs it up out of bounds on the serve receive. Crawford Trough and Randolph service ace puts the Rebels on top 22-21. Kendall Staples serving again for Rich. Right to left at mylocalradio.com. Hansen, good pass. Walker high and outside for Hansen. Hit deflected high off the block, and Stacy digs it up. Cornea high and outside to Wallenstein. A-wall back corner, too long and out. 22-22. We're tied. Set 1 brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Serving is Madison Harris, the senior. Rebel serve receive, Stacy. Quick set in the middle. Hatch hits. Diving dig attempt by Air goes under the net. Rebel point. Sydney Hatch with the Bear Lake Realty kill. And Rich needs 2 more points to win this first set. Ellie Brown serving right to left for Rich. Hansen, not a good pass, but keeps it alive. Outside, Hansen hits, and Stacy digs it up. Cornea high and outside for Wallenstein. A-wall hits it through the block to the floor. 24-22. Allie's 5th Bear Lake Realty kill of this first set, and Coach Brescia Hansen takes another timeout. We'll keep it right here since we can't hear the ads on the stream anyway. And take a look at our Bear Lake Realty fan cam. There's that Rebel student section. We had about 1% of those folks here on Saturday morning when Rich hosted Westside. Jim was decidedly less loud that morning, but they're here in full force tonight. The Rebel student section, Rebel fans across the way. It's the Bear Lake Realty fan cam. If you're looking for beachfront, room with a view, a secluded mountain retreat, maybe you have friends or family looking for real estate in the Bear Lake area, visit bearlakerealty.com. Let them know. bearlakerealty.com, the most experienced and highest volume realtor in the Bear Lake Valley. bearlakerealty.com, sponsoring our camera. Today run by Rob Leifson. Bro, how was the sandwich? It was good. Bro got to enjoy some of our Jimmy John's. We do the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. One of our sponsors, Jimmy John's in Evanston. Ellie Brown serving, set point for Rich. Hansen receives. Walker sets high and outside for Hansen. Tipped through the block, but into the net. Rebels win the first set. Hansen thought it was a Lyman point. The official says no, that's a Rebel point, and Rich takes the first set 25-22 on the station on main scoreboard. 25-22 your final in set number one. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be back with set number two. This first one has been brought to you by Rolene Kennedy, Rich County's representative at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Well, apologies if you're watching online and not getting any audio from the video ads. That's an issue we've been aware of and working on, and boy, I've tried a lot of different things. Anything I can think of, at least at this point, on the fly. I'll work with it tomorrow and get things fixed before the football game. Rebels take on the North Summit Braves tomorrow afternoon here at Rich High School. You can tune in live at mylocalradio.com and also listen live at KADQ FM 98.3 in the Evanston, Wyoming area. Set number one, Rebels pulled away down the stretch. 3 straight points to win at 25-22. Allie Wallenstein with your Town & Country Realty first set. Crawford Troffin Randolph service ace, 1-0. Shanked off to the side and into the bleachers. Rebels lead. Service by Wallenstein, received high by Madison Harris. Set it up high and outside. Hansen hits cross court and in. Boy, precision hit there for the kill. 1-1, we're tied on the station on main scoreboard. And Preston Bush, my producer extraordinaire, back in the studio. If you're listening on KADQ FM 98.3, you'll be able to hear the video ads as he plays them while I play the audio on, or play the videos online. Dump set by Cornea, dump set by Walker. Back to the Rebels. Cornea sets high and outside. Stacy comes in, hits it through the block. Air digs, overpass. Hatch hits, but Walker digs. High and outside for Air. Mandy pushes down the line. Brown turns, lunges, and digs it out of bounds. 2-1 Lyman with the lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. Set number 2 is brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Mayor Scott Saby, council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson with Secretary Lisa Bell. Serving is Bryce Hansen. Tingy, good pass. Cornea hardly has to move. Set up, Hatch hits, and it's dug by Hansen. High and outside, they set for Air. Big hit, deflected or dug up off the ceiling. Rebels keep it alive, and Tingy passes it over. Walker was right there, but I think she figured a teammate would grab it. She backed away, and it dropped to the floor. A Bear Lake Realty kill for Sage Tingy. Not your typical kill, but counts the same. Sage laughs as she comes off the floor, and Sydney Hatch serves into the net, a service error. Just the second of the match for Rich. Knock on wood, the Rebels have avoided those service errors. 3 service aces in the first set, just 1 error. Stacy hits, blocked, dug up. Staple dug it up, and Lyman caught a little flat-footed. They got an initial touch and then let it drop. Comprehensive Family Dental dig by Kendall Staple. J.C. Cornea serving left to right. Rebels in the blue, Lyman in the whites. Bryce Hansen hits from the 10-foot line. Tingy digs. Rebels go high and outside. Stacy hits long and out. 4-3. Lyman Eagles with the lead in set number 2, brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Our beginning serve of this set was presented by the Town and Country Realty. Pam Cornea selling Bear Lake in Utah and Idaho. Wallentine lunges down to receive the pass. Cornea with a dump set. Cornea punches to keep it alive after Lyman's attack, and the Rebels hit twice, 2 touches on the set attempt. 5-3, Lyman leads on the Station on Main scoreboard. Service by Walker. Rebels receive, set it up, Staple hits, back corner, Doug Hansen with the dig. Air hits down the line. Cornea a diving dig to keep it alive for Rich, and they set it up. Wallentine hits from the back line and gets the kill. 5-4, Rebels within 1. Drop my pen. Stacy serving for Rich left to right, serves long and out. Second service error in as many serves for Rich. So after, see that, I didn't actually knock on wood. I said it, but I didn't actually do it. And after just 1 service error in the first set, Rebels already have 2 here in set 2. Cornea, Brown hit, blocked, and it's right back in her face. 7-4, Lyman leads by 3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels need a side out with Mandy Air serving for Lyman. Stacy receives, Cornea high and outside. Wallentine, back corner, out of bounds. Just misfired. 8-4. Lyman doubling up the Rebels in set 2. Rich took the first set 25-22. Air serving right to left if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. Rebels set it up. Brown opposite. Hit is blocked. Rebels dig it up and pass it over. Walker high and outside. Hansen hits back corner. Tingy digs. It's out of bounds, but Brown keeps it alive, and Staple pushes it over. Push up front by Heaton. Set high and outside. Hansen hit again. Dug by Rich. A Comprehensive Family Dental dig for Wallentine. Awal passes it over for the Rebels. While the Eagles set it up in the middle. Hit into the block. Deflected out. Madison Harris with the kill. And Lyman leads 9-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Mandy Air serving again. The Rebels need a side out. Stacy, good pass. Cornea high and outside for Wallentine. Crushed. Dig by Air. Walker sets high and outside. Hansen's hit. Epic recreation block of the game for the Rebels. Push to the back corner. Stacy gets there. Digs it up. Rich sets it up. And Wallentine touches it cross court. Diving dig by Hansen and passed over by the Eagles. Tingy passes up front. Cornea high and outside. Wallentine hits again. Dug a 4th hit. It was blocked by the net. 10-4. Lyman leads. The Rebels had gotten to within a point. 5-4. Lyman on a 5-0 run. Rebels take a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well and be right back on the station on the second set, brought to you by the town of Woodruff.
This is Rich Rebel Senior Eliana Brown, and you're watching Rich High School Volleyball on Rebel Radio and mylocalradio.com.
Set number 2, Lyman on top big, 10-4. The Rebels had climbed to within 1, but Lyman's on a 5-0 run. Rebels don't get a good pass, and they have to just pass it over. Set high and long by Walker. Hansen's hit is stuffed. Epic Recreation block of the game for the Rebels. Back the other way. Rebels dig it, and Wallenstein hits back corner, and in there. Mandy Ayer said out. The line judge says in. Rich gets a side out, the much-needed side out. Allie Wallenstein with a Bear Lake Realty kill, her 6th of this match. We're in the second set. Rebels took the first, 25-22. Staples serves. Walker high and outside for Hansen. Hit off the net, and it drops on the line, far side of the court. 11-5, Ayer with the kill. Or was that Hansen? Back to serve, Madison Harris, the senior middle blocker, number 22, serves right to left. Rebels serve receive from her knees as McKenna Stacy. Wallenstein hits cross court, and not a good dig. Another Bear Lake Realty kill for Allie Wallenstein. Puts the Rebels up by 5, 11-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard with Ellie Brown serving. Ellie down the line. Good pass by Hansen. Walker high in a back set. Dickerson hits into the net. That's 4 touches. Gives the Rebels a point, 11-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Hatch tosses back to Brown for the service. Ellie serving left to right for the Rebels at mylocalradio.com. Ayer, good pass. Walker high and outside. Hansen, big hit, deflected by the block. Pancake dig, a comprehensive family dental dig by Ellie. Lyman sets it up, touches it across. Another diving dig by Tingy this time. Brown passes it over. Set high and outside. Walker, Hansen hits down the line. Brown digs. Cornea dives into her teammates on the bench trying to dig it again, but can't keep it alive. It's out of bounds. Point to the Eagles, 12-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard, and Taylor McKee checks in for serve receive. Service by Walker. Rebels get a good pass. Cornea high and outside. Wallenstein hits through the block, and it's Doug Hansen with the dig. Bryce hits down the line. McKee digs. Cornea high and outside for Wallenstein. The hit into the block deflects to the Lyman side of the floor. 12-8, Rebels down by 4. Wallenstein's 8th Bear Lake Realty kill of the match. She leads the Rebels tonight so far. Allie with the service. Low and into the net. A 3rd service error of the second set alone for Rich. 4th service error of the match. That puts Lyman on top by 5, 13-8. Rebels set high and out to the left side. Stacy's hit low. Blocked, whether by the net or by the Eagles. Doesn't matter as it drops to the Rebels side of the floor. Bryce Hansen serves. Low serve, and Tingy barely gets underneath it. Rebels set it up. Stacy hits back corner. Bryce Hansen digs. Dump set by Walker. Rich sets it up, and Cornea tips it past Dickerson to the floor. Dickerson was looking for the tip into the middle, and Cornea tipped it back behind herself to the floor. 14-9. Give J.C. Cornea a Bear Lake Realty kill, her 2nd of the match. Hatch. Hansen receives. Hatch with the service. Hansen receives. Ayers. Hit is stuffed. Epic Recreation block of the game. Kendall Staple. Give her a block and a dig in one. 14-10. Rebels climb to within 4 with Sydney Hatch serving. Her last service an error. This one, a laser. Barely kept alive by Harris. The Eagles pass it over. Wallenstein digs. Cornea high and outside for Stacy. Hit, deflected down the line. Walker digs it up. Passed high and outside. Air pushes, and Taylor McKee digs. Rebels set it up in the middle. Staple hits, dug up. Walker back set, right-handed hit down the line. Hatch with the dig for Rich. Wallenstein high and up front. Stacy just touches it over. Walker sets high and outside. Mandy Air comes in hot, hits too hard, and out. 14-11. Rebels trail by 3. Student section makes some noise as Sydney Hatch serves again for Rich. The senior with the right hand, back line. Air, good pass up front. Walker back set. Dickerson hits right hand and deflected by the Rebel block to the floor. Side out Lyman. Point to Lyman. Eagles lead 15-11 in set 2. Rebels were down by about this same score. Actually, by exactly the same score, exactly the same point of set number 1. And Rich came back to win 25-22. Rebels serve, receive. Stacy hits down the line. Nice dig by Walker with one hand. Keep it alive and pass it over. McKee passes. Cornea back line. Wallenstein fighting through traffic of her own players. Hits it to the back corner. Finds the court. The hardwood for the Bear Lake Realty kill. That was an incredible play by Wallenstein, trying to get around McKee. Taylor was trying to get out of the way. They just both were going contradictory directions, and somehow Wallenstein able to hit it and slap it to the back corner for the point. Air, big hit, stuffed. Epic Recreation block of the game. Ellie Brown leads the team in blocks, and there's another big one by Ellie. 15-13. Make sure to mark that down. Brown's second block of the match. Service from J.C. Cornea. Set it up in the middle, hit into the net. Missed time by Madison Harris. She just hit straight into the nylon. 15-14 after that hitting error gives J.C. Cornea the serve for Rich. Left to right at mylocalradio.com. And Mandy Air, some miscommunication. Air and Hanson were both there. A Crawford Trough and Randolph service ace. Rebels have tied it up at 15, and Coach Hanson takes a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well here on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com. $15-15. Rebels were down 15-11. They've gone on a 4-0 run to tie it up. Coach Bryce Hanson takes a timeout to try and stop this streak. Jake Hibbert provided our interview in the pregame show with Coach Brisha Hanson. And one of the things Coach Hanson talked about and with Jake was the side-out percentage and volleyball being a game of streaks or game of runs. Rebels on a run right now. Lyman hits, Rebels dig, Wallenstein passes over. Passed up high by Heaton. Walker sets way high and outside. Air digs, Brown touches it just out of bounds. Wallenstein, a diving comprehensive family dental dig. And then Brown kept it alive and punched it over. It was inside the antenna but just drifted out of bounds for the point to the Lyman Eagles. So the Rebel 4-0 run comes to an end. Service by Sierra Heaton. Rebels set it up, hit, Heaton digs, but the pass up front, unable to keep it alive are the Eagles, and Rebels get a quick side out. We're tied at 16. Quick timeout for station identification.
You're tuned in to Rich Rebel Sports on KADQ Evanston.
Mackenzie Smith in to serve for the Rebels. One of the leading servers on the JV squad. Got a great serve. Air receives, set it up for Air. Hits through the block in the back corner and in. 17-16. Good pass and a big hit by Mandy Air. Smith quickly checks back out. McKenna Stacy back into the ball game. looking for a nice dig, or a serve receive rather. Stacy, the leading serve receiver on the team. Tingy, good pass. Cornea dump set into the middle. 4 Eagles there. One of them plays it, keeps it alive. Taps it over. Brown digs. Staple hits to the back corner. Mandier with a diving dig. Great play. Set up in the middle. Touched across. Rebels block and dig. Cornea passes high. Stacy hits from the 10-foot line and dug up by the Eagles. Lyman sets it up for Hansen. Blocked. Touched over. They're going to call it a double hit by Madison Harris, or 2 touches, to tie the score back up at 17 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Here in this set 2, brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Rebels took the first set 25-22. Staples serves, passed up front, touched over and in. Nice touch by Madison Harris. Rolled it off her fingertips, past the Rebel block, and right in front of the net on the floor and in. Serving, Madison Harris. Rebel serve receive up at the up official. That's a service ace for Harris, 19-17. First ace of this second set, brought to you by Town of Woodruff. That's the first ace for Lyman, let me clarify that. Harris serves, Stacy passes, Cornea high and outside to Wallenton. A-Wall's hit, Harris digs out of bounds. Another kill by Allie Wallenton, brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. Allie's 10th into double digits. Wallenton second on the team in kills. And she's approaching Stacy with today's match. McKenna's got 4 or 5 and Wallenton with 10. Wallenton came in with 13 fewer than Stacy had. McKenna with a big comprehensive family dental dig. Good pass. Wallenton slaps down the line. Dug up. Slapped across by Hansen. Tingy digs for Rich. High and in the middle. Hatch hits through the block and to the side of a diving Mandy Air. Sydney Hatch with another Bear Lake Realty kill. Ties the score at 19 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Ellie Brown serving. We were tied at 19 in the first set. And the Rebels went on to win 25-22. Air receives. Walker high and outside. Hansen hits cross court. Wallenton's dig to her classmates in the student section. Air with the kill. Lyman retakes the lead 20-19. In that first set, we were tied at 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22 before Rich scored 3 straight points to win. Walker with the service. Stacy receives. Good pass. Cornea doesn't have to move. Wallenton's hit. Deflected to the floor. It dropped into the donut hole. Bryce Hansen just couldn't quite dive underneath it. And Wallenton ties the score at 20. Wallenton to serve for Rich. A-Wall with the service. Hits the net. Rolls over. Hansen dives, digs, then gets set for the hit and crushes it into the block for the kill. Bryce Hansen all over the court on that one. She served, received, then got up and earned the kill. And now she'll serve right to left for the Lyman Eagles at mylocalradio.com. Hansen, the running jump serve. Stacy receives. A good high pass. Cornea back set. Hatch hits in between 2 defenders. Diving Raven Heaton deflected it right back to Hansen's arm and to the floor. 21-21. No Bear Lake Realty kill there, but it's as good as one for Sid. Maybe it does count as a kill where they didn't actually control it. Sydney Hatch serving. We're tied at 21. Back line. High pass by Heaton. Set and touched over by Mandy Air. I said Heaton. That was Harris on the pass. Wallenton punches it to the back line. Hansen passes up high in the middle. Dickerson hits off the Rebel block to the floor, out of bounds. Taylor McKee with some great hustle, but couldn't quite get there in time. 22-21. Lyman retakes the lead in set number 2, brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Rebels took the first set. Eagles lead 22-21 in set 2. Dickerson serves. McKee, good pass. Cornea doesn't have to move. High and outside to Stacy. Hit, blocked, and Rebels can't dig it up. 23-21. Eagles 2 points away from tying this thing up at 1 set apiece. Dickerson with the service. Stacy, another great pass. Cornea, a quick back set to Staple. Back corner, Kendall finds the spot. Precision play of the game brought to you by McKay Frankham Dental Services. Kendall with the Bear Lake Realty kill in the back corner for the point to bring Rich within 1, 23-22. J.C. Cornea serves. Heaton receives. Good pass. Walker. And then hit by, not sure, I think that was actually Nelson. Rebels hit to the back corner and drop it in. Another Bear Lake Realty kill precision play. And was that Brown this time, or was that Staple again? Maybe a McKenna Stacy. Either way, the Rebels tie it up with the Bear Lake Realty kill. Hanson, Walker sets in the middle. Heaton hits, blocked. Epic Recreation block of the game. Lyman digs and keeps it alive, pass over. Cornea, Brown high and outside with the set. Stacy hits in between two defenders for the Bear Lake Realty kill. And Rich has turned the tide from down 23-21, 3 straight points. The Rebels have set point in set 2. Timeout on the court. We'll take a quick one as well.
This is Rich Rebel senior Eliana Brown, and you're watching Rich High School Volleyball on Rebel Radio and mylocalradio.com.
(24-23), the Rebels with set point. In the second set, Rich took the first set 25-22. And Lyman leads, and Rich leads 24-23 in the second set. Hansen receives, passed high, Walker for Mandy Air, touched across. Cornea with a nice pass. Rebels set it up for Staple in the middle, and Hansen digs it up. Walker high and outside. Air with the hit, deflected out of bounds by the block. Ties the score at 24 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Back to serve, into the game and back to serve. Sierra Heaton, the senior, with the right hand. High serve, Wallenstein receives. Cornea high and outside for Stacy. Hit deflected by the block. We're tied at 24 in set 2. Cornea digs after the Lyman attack. Brown almost knocks it down. Dug up, back to Rich. Hit, dug up high, set right at the net. And Brown goes up, just gives it a little tap to make it so Lyman couldn't play it. And Rich leads 25-24. Mackenzie Smith checks in. And McKenzie with the service. Air receives. Good pass. Walker high and outside for Mandy Air. Push down the line back corner. Perfect spot. Mandy Air with the kill. She saw where the defense was and went to a different spot. Ties the score at 25 in set 2, brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Mandy Air serving right to left for the Lyman Eagles. High serve. Stacy receives. Good pass. Cornea in the middle. Staple gets it, but dug up. Set high and Bryce Hansen. Rebels a diving dig with one hand, Wallenstein, and then Stacy passes it over. Walker high and in the middle. Touched across by Harris. Rebels dig. Cornea. Staple back corners. Mandy Air is right there. High and outside. Walker goes for Hansen. Hit into the block. Deflected out of bounds. 26-25. Lyman retakes the lead. They've led for most of this second set, brought to you by Town of Woodruff. Rebels took the first set. Lyman has set point in set 2. Air, high pass, or high serve. Staple receives. Cornea back set for Staple in the middle, and Kendall finds the floor. Bear Lake Realty kill for Kendall Staple. Another candidate for the McKay Frankham Dental Services Precision Play of the Game. As Kendall, the defense was probably looking for her to go to the corner. She went to the middle. Served down the line by Staple. Set up. Hansen hits. Epic Recreation block of the game. Puts the Rebels up 27-26. Big time block there. Might have been the net, but Brown was right there to block as well. Staple set point for Rich. Air receives. Passes Walker. Set high and outside for Hansen. Rebel block deflects it, keeps it alive. Cornea in the middle. Hatch hits back line in the lane. It's in there. It drops in. for the Bear Lake Realty kill, and Rich takes set 2, 28-26 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rich with a come-from-behind victory and extra points to get the victory in set 2. The Rebels lead 2-0 as we head for set number 3. The second set has been brought to you by the Town of Woodruff. Mayor Scott Saby, council members Millie Bradshaw, Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, and Jason Peterson, with Secretary Lisa Bell. Rebels lead 2-0 as we head for set number 3, brought to you by Rich County Government. Rebels with a championship cause. We welcome you if you're tuned in from the Bridger Valley, the Lyman area. Jake Hibbert, the regular voice of the Lyman Eagles and Mountain View Buffaloes, is on his way. Maybe in Casper already at this point tonight to cover matches tomorrow at the Casper Invitational Volleyball Tournament, and then football tomorrow as well. Lyman has the first serve, brought to you by Town & Country Realty. Pam Cornea selling Utah and Idaho. Selling Bear Lake in Utah and Idaho. Lyman sets it up, hits. Rebels dig, set it up and hit. Wallenstein's attack is deflected. Bryce Hansen's attack is into the net, and Rich leads 1-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. These are two very even teams. Whichever team wins, especially if it's a 3-0 sweep or a 3-1 win, it will not really illustrate how close this match has been. Rich took the first set 25-22, took set 2 28-26. Wallenstein serves, air with a good pass, high, Walker high and outside. Hansen hits down the line, McKee digs. Cornea high in middle set, a 2-set in the middle. Hatch hits, deflected and blocked, dug up, slapped over. Wallenstein digs. Cornea high and outside. Stacy's hit, blocked down the line and in on the Rebel side. And it went down the line of the net and just stayed in right there in front of the up official. Service. Brooklyn Walker, the setter, and Tingy's serve receive. Not good. She put her hands behind her back as if to say, whoop, that wasn't me. like a little kid getting caught with their hand in the cookie jar. She's had a look on her face like, nope, not me. Stacy receives this one, a high pass back line. Wallentine with a nice attack, dug up to the ceiling, back to the floor. That little bit of an extra push from the tile. Some home court advantage right there for the Rebels. Gives Rich the point as Lyman couldn't dig it up after that deflection. Air receives the serve. Walker high and outside for Hansen. Sydney Hatch digs. Wallentine dives at it, but can't keep it alive. 3-2. Lyman leads on the Station on Main scoreboard. This third set brought to you by Rich County Government. Rebels with a championship cause. Hansen serves. McKee, good pass. Cornea high and in the middle. Staple hits, deflected, dug, and a lift is what they'll call to tie the score at 3. Not quite a Bear Lake Realty kill for Staple. Maybe that does go in. I need to learn the rules. No. I didn't think so. Cornea serves. Back line. Good pass up front. Walker high and outside. Air. Big hit. Tingy with a nice pass. Stacy hits. Back corner in there. What a spot by McKenna Stacy. That is a Bear Lake Realty kill. Boy, precision play. That was centimeters. That's 8 kills in the match for McKenna Stacy. Cornea serves again. Pass up front. Walker has to punch it, and Air taps it over. Staples there. Cornea with the dump set. Back set for the, oh my goodness, what a block. A back set, and then the hit attempt by Emma Nelson. And McKenna Stacy goes up and puts a lid on it for an Epic Recreation block. Epic Recreation for all your rentals in Bear Lake. J.C. Cornea serves. Pass up front, Walker. Back set again. Dickerson hits into the net. That's a 4th hit by Lyman to give Rich a 6-3 lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. Cornea set to serve for Rich. Right to left. Rebels wearing blue. Lyman in the whites. Air receives, and Air pushes across after the pass, after the set, rather. Brown high and outside. Stacy with a big hit, deflected and kept in the air. Walker goes high and outside. And Air with a big hit. Wallentine, a comprehensive family dental dig. Rebels push it across. Hansen digs. Dickerson hits. Rebels, Epic Recreation block. The dig up under the net for Lyman gives Rich the point. Cornea with the service. And a service ace. Crawford Trough and Randolph. Service ace. The Crawford Trough. Winter hours, they're open Thursdays through Saturday, or fall hours, Thursday through Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Third ace of the match for J.C. Cornea. J.C. with a comprehensive family dental diving dig. Rebels push it across. Lyman sets it up again. Mandy Air, another diving dig, this time by Wallentine. Air passes. Walker back set. Hit into the net by Emma Nelson. Puts the Rebels on top 9-3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. And Coach Brescia Hansen takes a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well with Rich leading 9-3 on the Station on Main scoreboard here on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. Nine to 3. Rebels off to a hot start here in this third set. Brought to you by Rich County Government. Rebels with a championship cause. Rich came from behind in both the first and second sets to win. 25-22 in the first, 28-26 in the second. Lyman had a 26-25 lead. Rich scored 3 straight to win that second set. J.C. Cornea serving for Rich, right to left. Lyman receives. That was Hansen. High and outside to Mandy. Air hit, blocked by Ellie Brown. Epic Recreation block. Set to Air again, and another Epic Recreation block by Brown. This time Air just passes it over. Cornea. Brown high and outside with the set for Stacy. Diving dig by Aaron, pushed over on a dump set. Cornea high or to the middle. Brown sets a short one for Staple. Hit to the corner. Walker with a dig, and then Nelson 2 touches on the set. 10-3. Coach Hansen does not get the side out she wanted coming out of the timeout. Rich is on an 8-0 run since trailing 3-2 early in this third set. J.C. Cornea, a laser of a serve. Hansen passes, and the set is up too close to the net. The set was like a bump, a pass type set, and Air couldn't get to it in time. It was way too close to the net. 9-0 run for Rich. 11-3, Rebels lead. Cornea serving. Right to left if you're watching online at mylocalradio.com. The Rebels lead 2-0, and we're here in the third set, brought to you by Rich County Government. Lyman attacks, Rebels dig. High and outside, Stacy hits, crushes it. Heaton with the dig. Nice job by the libero. High set for Mandy. Air crushed down the line. And Mandy, boy, when she gets the good set, she's tough to stop. Rebels the block was closer to the middle, so Air just hit down the line and crushed it to the back corner. Ends a 9-0 Rebel run. Lyman finally gets that side out it was looking for. Tingy passes Cornea in the middle. Low set for Staple from the 10-foot line. Hits the back line. Hansen digs. And a double touch again on the set by Lyman gives Rich a 12-4 lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. Set 3 brought to you by Rich County Government. Our timeouts tonight are brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. For all your propane needs, 435-793-4208. Air, another big hit, this time right into the block, and the Rebels block it, but then it's on the wrong, their own side of the net. They can't dig it up. 12-5, Eagles within 7. Lyman trying to pull back in. They need to win this third set to even force a fourth set. Tingy receives, Cornea sets high and outside. Wallenstein's hit long and out. 12-6. Rebels' 8-point lead has gone down to 6. Serving and just came off her. You could hear the sound from Sierra Heaton's serve. It came off her hand funny. A service error. That's just the second service error of the match for the Lyman Eagles, unless I've missed one or two. Air receives, Staples serve. Good pass, set it up, hit, blocked, dug by Rich at the net, and Stacy hits too long, just a bit beyond the back line. She hit from the 10-foot line and just fired a little too deep. 13-7, Mandy Air with the Rebels on top. Mandy Air serves for Lyman and serves short into the net. Lyman had one service error through the first 2 sets combined. They've got 2 errors in their last 2 attempts. 14-7, Rich up by a touchdown. Ellie Brown serves. Hansen receives. Walker back to Hansen for the hit. Cross court in there. Bryce Hansen, what a crack. 14-8. Boy, she hammered that one cross court and in. Nice big hit by Bryce Hansen. 14-8, Rebels lead in set number 3. Make sure to stay tuned for our Mound Valley Cattle Company post-game show. We'll have the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. McKee, Stacy, and Tingy set to receive. Sage, nice pass up to Cornea in the middle. Hatch hits, blocked. Sydney digs. Pushed back, Rebel. Oh, Cornea played it with one hand. McKee had a good bead on it as she dove down for she was trying to make a comprehensive family dental dig. But Cornea's touch pushed it off to the side, and it's a point for Lyman. Cornea high and outside. Wallenstein's hit blocked. McKenna Stacy digs. Clear on the back line. Set up. Hatch touches it across. Dug into the net. Sydney Hatch with a Bear Lake Realty kill. Gives the Rebels a 15-9 lead. That's Sydney's 5th kill of the set. Or of the match, rather. Hatch 3rd on the team. That puts her at 76 kills this season. Wallenstein. Air receives. Walker back set for Dickerson. Hit into the Rebel block on the Rebel side of the floor. Point to the Eagles. Rich leads 15-10 here in this third set, brought to you by Rich County Government. Tingy, good pass. Cornea sets. Stacy hits. Big slap and Air with the dig. Hansen hits. Wallenstein. Nice pass up to Cornea. Sydney Hatch hits, and it's blocked. Dug pass back to Rich. Cornea sets again. Hatch back line to Air with the dig. High and outside. Hansen, big hit off the net. McKee keeps it alive. Rebels set it up for Stacy. Air lunging out keeps it alive. Stacy's hit on an overpass, dug up. Dickerson hits back line. Wallenton digs, kept alive, passed over. Set high, and Hansen hits into the Rebel block, deflected to the floor. 15-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Stacy receives, high pass. Cornea sets a back set for Hatch. Hits, deflected, dug and passed over. Sage Tingy passes. Stacy hits, it was blocked. Rebels set it up again. Hatch hits into the block, and it's deflected to the floor. 16-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Service ace, brought to you by the Crawford Trough in Randolph. 17-11, Sydney Hatch with the ace. Hatch to serve again, right to left for the Rebels. Clips the top of the net. Air somehow able to make the pass. Hansen hit, big one right at Hatch. It's deflected. Hatch deflects it to the back wall. 17-12. Boy, Hansen, she can really hit when she gets that good swing. McKee receives. Cornea in the middle. Staple hits back line. Hansen passes high. Walker with the set. Air hits to the back line of Rich. Doug set, hit, and Stacy's hit. Doug passed and pushed across. Back to Rich. Cornea high set. Stacy hits. Back corner. Swing and a miss by Lyman. No, not a miss. Swing and a tip. Gives McKenna a Bear Lake Realty kill. The hit was long. And Lyman, the one line judge who was on the other side of the court, said there was a tip. The up official says, yep, we got a tip. The line judge on the side where the ball was played did not see that tip. Eagles not happy with it. Coach Hansen let it go, and the officials... Oh, Rebels wanted a substitution. 18-12, Rebels lead after that Bear Lake Realty kill. J.C. Cornea, Hansen receives. Walker, back line. Jump attack from about 5 feet behind that 10-foot line. Rebels dig it up, set for Staple. Hit, deflected by Walker, deflected by Hansen, and out. 19-12, Bear Lake Realty kill for Kendall Staple. Remember, these teams played once already at the Cokefield tournament. Rich took the first set, and then Lyman won sets 2, 3, and 4, and won the match 3-1. Rebels lead 2-0. And we're in the Rich County Government third set. Serve receive. Walker can't dig it out of the net. 20-12. That doesn't, I don't think, count as a Crawford Trough and Randolph service ace, but it's pretty close for J.C. Cornea. Rebels running away with this third set, brought to you by Rich County Government. Heaton receives. Air crushes it to the back corner. What a shot by Mandy Air. 20-13 to get the side out. The good pass leads to the good set, leads to the big hit by Mandy Air. Kendall Dickerson serves low into the net. Service error number 3 of the set. Lyman had 1 service error through the first 2 sets combined. They have 3 service errors in this Rich County Government set number 3. Mackenzie Smith serving. Passed high by Hansen, high and outside. Air hits down the line. Cornea passes high, and Brown touches it, dump set into the middle, but a diving dig from Heaton. Passed set by Brown. Wallenton looking left, hits back right for the Bear Lake Realty kill.
In Rich County, we know that our children...
My apologies. I'm trying to check with a setting real quick to see if I can fix that audio again, but not going to be able to do it right now. Mackenzie Smith serves with Rich on top, 22-13. Air hits. Rebels block out of bounds. Point to Lyman. 22-14. Rich took the first 2 sets very close, 25-22, 28-26. But Rich needing just 3 points for a decisive set 3 victory. Rich County Government third set. Tingy receives. Cornea in the middle. Staple hits back corner and finds the spot. 23-14. Kendall Staple with a Bear Lake Realty kill. Earns herself the spot to serve on the back line. 23-14. Rich smelling victory over the Eagles. Staple serves. Good pass up front. Walker high and in the middle. Touch attack. Wallentine digs. Cornea sets it up for A-Wall, and the timing just off. The set a bit low. Wallentine hits it into the net. 23-15. Rebels set and match point Eve. I don't know what you call that. Brown. Rich needs 2. Wallentine hits cross court and in there. A-Wall with the Bear Lake Realty kill. Now it is set and match point 24-15 in set number 3, brought to you by Rich County Government. Rebels lost to Lyman 3 weeks ago at the Cokeville tournament, 4 weeks ago, 3-1. Dump set blocked by Hatch, dug up by Walker, set and hit into the net. Bryce Hansen ends it. 25-15, Rebels take set 3 and sweep the 3A Lyman Eagles. After losing to Lyman earlier this season, 3-1, Rebels at home sweep the Eagles. 25-22, 28-26, and 25-15. Stay tuned. This third set has been brought to you by Rich County Government. We've got the Mound Valley Cattle Company postgame show coming up when we return, including the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital postgame highlights and stats, and the Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar, all when we return here on the Wildlife and mylocalradio.com.
Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho, are proud to support the Rich High Rebels in creating their own path and leaving a trail of success in athletics and in activities, in education and in life. Serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997. Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Established in 1870, Randolph, Utah is home. Home to the rich rebels, to hardy people of high character, and to values of dedication, honesty, hard work, education, and respect for self and others. Randolph is also home to friendly folks who love their families, their town, and their neighbors. Count yourself a neighbor whenever you visit Randolph, Utah. Mayor Lynn Weston and the Town Council of Randolph wish the rich rebels good luck and invite you to visit anytime.
Welcome to the Mound Valley Cattle Company postgame show, brought to you by Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. A 3-set victory for the Rich Rebels over the Lyman Eagles. Let's get to the meat of it with the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap, where they spend 6 hours daily slicing all natural meats and fresh produce for your 30-second sandwich. That's at 113 Front Street in Evanston, the Jimmy John's. Rebels non-conference, non-region match against a bigger 3A Lyman Eagles team, and Lyman coming to town had beat Rich earlier this year 3-1 at the Cokeville Invitational. But Rich had different ideas on Thursday night as part of homecoming week. The first set, Lyman took a lead. They led 8-2 early on. Rebels battled back, kept it close, tied it up a bunch of times at 15, at 16, et cetera, all the way to 22. And then Rich scored the final 3 points to win 25-22. In set number 2, again, Lyman was up, not big, but up early, 10-4 early on. And Rich did the same in the second set. Battled back, tied it up at 15, again at 16, et cetera, all the way to 26. We were tied. In fact, Lyman had a 26-25 lead. Rich tied it up at 26 and then scored 2 more in a row. They got some big-time plays down the stretch. Kills from Kendall Staple and Sydney Hatch to win the second set 28-26. And then in set 3, Rich went on a 9-0 run early, led 11-3, and just cruised to victory from there. Got a handful of service aces from Sydney Hatch and J.C. Cornea and others. And Rich took set 3 25-15, pulled out the brooms and swept the Eagles. Rich won the JV match 3-2 and won the varsity match 3-0. That's your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. Jimmy John's at 113 Front Street in Evanston, where fresh and fast meet. Stay tuned. We've got more of the Mound Valley Cattle Company postgame show coming up, including the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital postgame highlights and stats and the roundup calendar when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com.
Care is always available at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. As a full-service hospital, Bear Lake Memorial offers an emergency room that's open 24/7. They treat patients of all ages. Other professional services include physicians' clinics, assisted living, home health services, counseling, dialysis, physical, occupational, and speech therapy, orthopedic care, and skilled nursing. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacy's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacy's Repair, the ones who truly care. Thanks, Dale. The Rebels, that's a good birthday gift right there. 3-0 win over the Lyman Eagles. Happy birthday to Taylor McKee. 3-0. Welcome back on the Mound Valley Cattle Company post-game show. Rebels with a 3-set victory. Wow, I was surprised about that. I figured the Rebels, if they played well, could beat Lyman. I did not figure they could sweep the Lyman Eagles, but that's exactly what Rich did here tonight at Rich High School on Cindy Stewart floor. The Mound Valley Cattle Company post-game show. Let's take a look at some post-game highlights and stats brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Rob, you need to get rolling? All right. I appreciate running the camera. Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay. Sorry, Rob Layson running the camera tonight. The camera, of course, brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. And our apologies on the ads tonight. Something got, I don't know how this happened, but a setting got switched. And shout out thanks to Jake Hibbert for figuring out what the issue was to help me get that working here at the end. He had a similar issue not too long ago, and I hadn't updated anything on our software, so I don't know how it got changed, but somehow it did. Anyway. That's beside the point. Post-game highlights and stats brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care. Rebels finished with just 7 service aces. That's well below their season average per match. The Rebels average per match, let's see, they've got 171 service aces in 12 or 13 matches. So they're averaging about, 12, 13 service aces per match. So just 7 tonight. That's a credit to what Lyman did on the serve receive. But Rich also well below their season average on service errors. No errors in the third set. 1 in the first, a total of 4 in the match. And that was a big part of the Rebels winning tonight. Those just the quality serves got Lyman out of its game a bit. While Rich didn't have a ton of aces, they did force a lot of poor passes. And then Rich, defensively, some just good blocking. Ellie Brown, finished with 4 Epic Recreation blocks. Tons of digs for the Rebels in this match. Rebels were hustling all over the place for those comprehensive family dental digs. Again, 25-22, Rich took the first. 28-26, Rich took the second. And 25-15, Rich took the third. The first and second sets, if you look down on the score, it's just uncanny how similar it is. As Lyman had a 2-1 lead early, you can go down a few rows and see that Lyman was ahead 11-7. A few more rows down, Lyman was ahead 14-11, and it goes like that through the first and second sets continually, clear till the end, where Rich, though, took a 24-23 lead. Well, we went back and forth. Lyman was up 26-25, but then Rich scored 3 straight to win. So those first and second sets very similar, and Rich won by 2 points in the second, 3 points in the first. And then I don't know if that deflated the Eagles a bit, but that third set, Rich dominated 25-15. Post-game highlights and stats presented by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Count on us to care. Stay tuned. We've got more of the Mound Valley Cattle Company post-game show, the Roundup Calendar, brought to you by Western Ag Credit, when we return on the Wildlife and MyLocalRadio.com. When it comes to farming and ranching, it makes good sense to work with a lender who understands finance and agriculture. Western Ag Credit is an independent cooperative owned by the farmers and ranchers who borrow from it. With competitive rates, your loan is tailored to match your business needs. Real estate, livestock, equipment, and operating expenses. When it comes to farming and ranching financing, Western Ag Credit in Evanston is your partner in agriculture.
Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho, are proud to support the Rich High Rebels in creating their own path and leaving a trail of success in athletics and in activities, in education and in life. Serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997. Mound Valley Cattle Company, 208-339-0614.
Post-game at Rich High School on Cindy Stewart floor. The Rebels with a 3-0 win over the Lyman Eagles. A dominant victory. It was two close sets and then a dominant third set victory for Rich. Again, happy birthday shout out to Taylor McKee tonight. Let's see, Mound Valley Cattle Company post-game show is, we're going to wrap it up in just a second here with the Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar. And let me bring up that graphic real quick for you. If you're tuned in online at mylocalradio.com, Rebel Homecoming Week continues tomorrow with plenty of action. Football game. I mistakenly thought there was a JV game tomorrow. There is not. It's just varsity versus North Summit, and our pregame will start at 3:15 tomorrow afternoon. Kickoff's at 4 o'clock. You can tune in live at KADQ FM 98.3 and watch live at mylocalradio.com. Rebel volleyball team tomorrow, right back at it. And it's a big one in region play as ICS comes to town. JV starts at 5:30. Varsity is at 7. And our pregame coverage will start as soon as possible after the football game. We can move all the equipment into the gym and get started on the volleyball pregame show. I'm hoping about 6:30, maybe 6:40 at worst. We'll get on before the match starts, I think. Also tomorrow and Saturday, the Rich Rodeo Club is at the Grantsville Rodeo in Tooele. That starts tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and then it's the Longhorns Rodeo Saturday, still in Tooele, beginning at 9 a.m. Saturday, Rich Middle School volleyball team, the Royals play at Mountain View in Lyman with matches beginning at 10 a.m., and the football team is also at Mountain View in Lyman with games beginning at 10 a.m. Again, that's Middle School Royals. On Saturday, the Rebel freshman team plays at the Lyman tournament. That goes throughout the day Saturday, and the JV and varsity volleyball teams will head through Lyman on their way to Manila. JV's at 1 o'clock, and we'll cover the match right here on KADQ and mylocalradio.com. The varsity pregame coverage starts at 1:55. Let's make that 1:45 this Saturday at Lyman. And then also, if you're a University of Wyoming Cowboys football fan, you can tune in live to the games here on KADQ as the Cowboys open conference play in the Mountain West, hosting UNLV Runnin' Rebels. That's at War Memorial Stadium this Saturday. Pregame starts at 5 o'clock. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. this Saturday evening. And again, tune in live at KADQ FM 98.3, the Wildlife. That takes us through the end of the weekend and wraps up our Western Ag Credit Roundup calendar. Wraps up our Mound Valley Cattle Company postgame show, brought to you by Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. Now, I should mention one other thing. Western Ag Credit at 848 Front Street in Evanston is your partner in agriculture, and they are doing a Farmers Feeding Families food drive going on now through, I can't remember the exact date, but it is going on now, and Western Ag Credit will match 50 cents per pound of food donated in that Farmers Feeding Families food drive. So you can donate now. Western Ag Credit will add to whatever you donate to make it a bigger, better food drive. Well, that wraps up our Mound Valley Cattle Company postgame show. Again, don't miss tomorrow when the Rebel football team hosts North Summit. That'll be followed directly by Rebel volleyball against ICS. Pre-game coverage tomorrow afternoon starts at 3:15. Also, if you're in town tomorrow, don't miss the homecoming parade starting at 10 a.m. Well, that'll do it for tonight's videographer, Rob Leifson, and your producer back in the studio, Preston Bush. Thanks for dealing with all the issues tonight, Preston. I'm Ryan Steineckert, and we'll talk with you again soon.